How screens are affecting the intelligence levels of our children is a current concern. For the first time in history, there are indications that the next generation may be less intelligent than the current one. Never before in humanity has the hypothesis arisen that children could be less intelligent than their parents. This is because all the knowledge obtained by the previous generation is commonly passed on to the next generation. This has been happening for millennia, and it is precisely what has allowed humanity to be the species that has evolved the most intellectually over all these years. We are facing a problem that, in my opinion, many people may not even realize. I will call it the age of stupidity. Have you ever had the feeling that people are becoming less intelligent over time? This is not just an impression. Studies indicate that human intelligence is decreasing, and our attention span is almost non-existent. Research shows that currently, a goldfish is capable of holding more attention than a teenager. And all of this is worsening. In the US, 44% of the population doesn't read, and 30% have never bought a book in their lives. 1 in 10 young Americans neither study nor work. Functional illiteracy, which refers to those who can read but can't comprehend what they read, affects 19% of the American population, and this situation is worsening. Studies indicate that people are becoming less intelligent, and the next generation may be even worse. Many people who started watching this video may not be able to reach the end due to their lack of attention, but there is still hope for some. Today, I will explain why intelligence is decreasing and what you can do to reverse this trend. However, to do this, it's important that you are intelligent enough to stay until the end of this video. If you are dissatisfied and distracted, the scientific explanation for this is that your dopamine receptors are overloaded. But what truly concerns me is that, in an interview, Roy Baumeister, the renowned willpower expert, was asked about how he maintains his willpower and focus. He explained, "I found that I can no longer concentrate on things because I spend a lot of time playing Candy Crush on my phone." This doesn't mean he lacks willpower, but rather that his willpower has been hijacked by the efforts of hundreds of engineers, psychologists, and marketing experts. They have implemented a control strategy that we are just beginning to comprehend. Welcome to Infinite Insights, and today I want to ask, do you know how much your attention is worth? Our minds are being overwhelmed by a flood of information, and this is not a coincidence, it's a deliberate strategy. They have publicly admitted it. How long can they make you spend? How much of your life are you willing to give away? This is because some of the brightest minds in the world, software engineers, and scientists, have joined forces to hijack our attention. Solid research confirms this, but strangely, the media is not addressing this issue. In the book The Value of Attention, Johann Hari reveals something cruel based on studies, including the influence of social media in controlling our lives. Behind the screens, thousands of Machiavellian engineers work tirelessly to create systems that don't care about our resistance. They simply ignore us. If the mind is wandering, willpower is useless, making the person almost a puppet, acting without control, as if they were intoxicated. An example of this is traffic accidents caused by people deeply distracted by arguments, work worries, or phone conversations. This attention hijacking is not limited to social media alone. It also happens in the real world, in offices, where managers have been indoctrinated to believe in the idea of multitasking. People are overwhelmed with work and can't complain or understand what's wrong. Having to deal with 8 tasks simultaneously, going from one place to another, handling cleaning, accounting, and a multitude of other work responsibilities, makes it impossible to have an overview of things. And, often, this comes at a high price, leading to insomnia and a noisy mind that won't shut off, even after a long day of work. The biggest trap of all is the cell phone, which continues to capture our attention, even without an internet connection. Now, please pay attention to TikTok. Although it's not something new, it's more of the same. Nevertheless, TikTok has discovered the magical recipe to hijack your attention for hours on end. When something truly captivates you, it's hard to look away. It could be an adorable cat video or any other content of your interest. It's not as simple as just scrolling to the next video in a mere 15 seconds. We feel the need to process it, share it with someone, or at the very least, break away from using the app. However, tech companies and social media don't want you to do that, even though it may seem otherwise. Their goal is to make you use their platforms as much as possible, as quickly as possible, in order to sell more ads. This way, the algorithm can learn more about your preferences and behavior, and this information is sold to data brokers at exorbitant prices. It's a money game, and yes, they're messing with our heads. They try to make it seem like it's our fault, as if your 10-year-old sibling should have more self-control and realize they've spent over half an hour on TikTok. Of course, what you really need to understand the world is not more time to reflect on what you've read or seen. In fact, they want you to drown in more data, opinions, breaking news, memes, and funny videos. They want you to consume endlessly. They say we need to exercise more self-control, but at the same time, they have the brightest minds in the world, an expensive team of engineers, psychologists, and experts who make a fortune with one goal: stealing your attention and self-control for their benefit. Furthermore, our society is built on compulsive consumption. If you're not constantly excited about substances and entertainment, you're wasting your life. If you don't want to overwork, stay up late, or think about work all the time, many people will label you as lazy and uninterested in progressing in life. People take advantage of the fact that we don't realize our capacity for concentration has limits. When we exceed these limits, bad things happen, both at the individual and societal levels. Sometimes, you can't fully enjoy TV series or movies you like because you're constantly on your phone, distracted. This happens because your attention is being stolen, and you can no longer focus. The issue with entertainment is that when we can't concentrate, we often blame the content, saying it's too slow, complicated, boring, deep, or lacking sparkle when, in reality, our attention has been stolen, making it impossible to savor the moment. We're convincing ourselves that we're having more fun than ever, that we're having a great time, and that we're finally free. Now, we don't have to endure boring conversations with family or friends because we can watch memes, TikToks, or short videos. However, the shallowness of this significantly impacts education. Everything seems shallow and lacking depth. Another problem is that we can no longer tolerate silence, which is essential for concentration. We use our phones at inappropriate times, such as during gatherings with friends, funerals, or concerts, which distracts us and prevents us from appreciating what's happening around us. We've been taught that using our phones is fun and makes us feel free, but in reality, it makes us more irritated and hampers our ability to concentrate. Quick and simple things have been sold to us as the best, but that's not always true. Sometimes, it's essential to slow down and savor things at a more leisurely pace. So, why do they want us constantly distracted? What's the intention behind this? Often, we're distracted in our daily lives, and we're told to combat distraction by getting even more distracted. At work, we're asked not to think about our life or the world, and it's considered unimportant. We're supposed to focus our attention solely on work. There are series, videos, and movies to keep us distracted, and there's no problem with that. The week flies by, and you don't notice what's happening in your life. When you go out with friends or family, nobody wants to discuss the emptiness you feel. They just want to talk about social media, funny videos, and popular TV series. Sometimes, it feels like you're just watching your own life as a spectator. But you can break free from this cycle of distraction. The solution involves a dopamine fast, which consists of taking regular breaks from using these technologies to reset your mind and implementing simple rules to keep your behavior in check. Additionally, it's essential to make adjustments to your technology, such as using the Do Not Disturb and airplane mode on your phone. Set clear rules to save your focus and enjoy moments without your phone. Use this extra time to nourish yourself with slower habits that provide peace and well-being, such as meditating, reading, writing, listening to music, and singing. This way, you can make your social media addiction less accessible. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it serves as a warning and helps you regain control over your habits.